Oh, okay. So this meeting will be in two parts. Thank you everyone for staying back on. I have no idea. All of a sudden it's just like you've all just disappeared. I'm like, okay, what are the benefits? And I thought, oh, well, the benefit is that we'll just have to have another meeting and I'll have to see you all again. So anyway, did you come up with any, like, did you share any stories? What happened when I was away?
No,
Rhonda was about to let us know why she's only on.
Okay, yeah, I'll mute everyone so we don't have background noise. And then Rhonda, tell us what you've been up to, because geez, it's been a busy month for you, hasn't it?
It's sort of not a month, like it all kind of happened in a week.
Yeah.
And literally the other day, and I don't know whether you're going to say this is true or not, I literally felt like exactly in the middle of fear and excitement.
Yeah.
So I felt exactly in the middle and really balanced and calm. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is what she's been talking about. Here I am. And it was, it just made my head be clearer.
Yeah.
Because I went, oh yeah, I'm really fearful of this happening, but I'm really excited about this. And then all of a sudden I was just like, okay, let's go. It was, yeah, like, yep, that's what she's talking about.
Yeah.
That's what she's been telling me.
Oh, great. Yeah, because it all started when you fell over and cracked your head on the coffee table.
Yeah, exactly. And it just went downhill from there. Then we had the hip, and then we're now on an uphill, upwards, onwards and upwards. So yeah.
So
great.
For those that were on this journey with Rhonda, because there's a few here that did the last course with me, and it was obvious to everyone that was in the group, but just nobody said anything because it was your journey. But it was obvious to everyone that you were in a job that was out of alignment with your values. It was, and where like it just kept getting bigger and bigger, the chaos. It was almost like it was trying to just snap you back to the center. And then, so anyway, long story short, where are you working now? Because you sent me a message. What are you doing now?
Mind state psychology.
Awesome. And does this feel congruent with your values?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And how does it feel each day when you're getting up and going to work?
Well, I've only been there for a week.
Yeah.
And it's just like, apart from the fact that I'm trying to got to get into the traffic and work out what time I've got to be there, it doesn't feel like anything. It just feels like that's where I'm supposed to be. Yeah. It doesn't, I don't know. It just, it just is, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So I'm not like worried. I'm not like super excited. I'm just like, yep, okay, this is it for me. And I feel really calm, relaxed.
Yeah, beautiful. Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so nice. I was wondering where you were, what happened, and where we were up to.
It happened quite quick.
Yeah, that's so cool. Yeah, it was only 2 weeks ago you were saying, I'm not sure that I can ever get another job. And then now you've like landed your perfect one. Awesome.
That's so exciting, Rhonda. Yay.
I know, and just going with what you were saying there with your inner, your inner knowing. When I was applying for this job, I was like, okay, I've got to work out whether I really want this, because I know that I'm going to get it. If that makes sense and doesn't sound arrogant.
No.
It's like, I've really got to make sure this is what I want, because it's going to happen. And literally
example. Perfect example. Rhonda hasn't been able to show up all week, and when we're talking about inner knowing, she just jumps on and shares. And that's what I was saying to everyone. I can't really share a story from someone else about their inner knowing, because it's a personal experience for each and every person. It's not something that, it's different for all of us. We experience it differently. The one thing that I have started doing, and I would encourage you all to do, is that when you are faced with a problem or a challenge, remind yourself that there is a part of you that has the answer. and ask that part of you, what's the answer? Like, you know, asking yourself, getting in the habit, because who here has ever been faced with a problem and has got into that habit of ringing everyone that they know and getting 5 or 6 different opinions and then getting completely confused and then maybe making a decision that's not out of alignment and then getting shitty with that person for giving you bad advice? Has that ever happened? Yeah, we've all done that. I've done that. Okay, and that's kind of not fair on the people around you either, because you chose to take that on. So when we're blaming the outside world for how we feel, you will never be empowered. So get in the habit of starting to ask yourself, how do I access that inner knowing? Reminding yourself that at the moment that you perceive a problem, okay, this is worthy of writing down, not you, Claire, you're driving, but everyone else. At the moment that you perceive a problem, there is instantaneously a solution available to you. Okay, that's the balance of the universe. These things happen at once. So problem, solution, they happen instantaneously. Remind yourself of this and ask yourself, how do I access my inner knowing? What do I need to do? What do I need to do? Or who do I need to be? Sometimes it's a case of doing something in terms of doing a process. Sometimes it's a case of, like in my example that I gave, it was a case of actually being, stopping trying to do and figure out the problem and actually be and just access that. Is that helpful to everyone? Has that made sense, what we're talking about here today? A few nods and a few, like, you've confused me, Donna. Who have I confused? Have I confused anyone? Kind of. Okay, that's cool.
How do you
find Roberta? Okay.
How would you find the instant solution? Through going through the...
Well, you need to ask yourself that in the moment. You know, this is how when you've trained yourself not to trust your intuition, when you've trained yourself over years and years, and we get trained from small kids, like, who here as a small kid ever had their parents say, you know, like when you were angry or frustrated, you know, stop it, don't behave like that, stop that now, okay, go to your room, do not behave that way, go to your room right now. And then, you know, and then when you're out in public getting prepped on what is appropriate behavior, you know, like, and we actually prepped from a small age to present a very happy and positive and polite thing to the world, and to hide this shit because no one wants to see it. Okay, don't bring that out in public. And we're also taught how to ignore our feelings. Okay, our feelings is like an access point, it's feedback mechanism. I've seen it with my son when he's fallen over, and hurt himself, and somebody stepped in and said, "You're okay." Well, maybe he's not. Maybe he's not okay. Like, why are you telling him that he's okay when clearly there's blood pouring out of his knee? Like, you know, he will be okay, but right now he's not. He's scared. He's hurt. Like, he you know, like, he needs a different question. But I mean, I know that happened to me as a kid. I'm sure if I asked every single one of you, it might not have been that situation, but we've all had times where we get told how to feel. Don't feel bad, feel good. And so we are trained as small children how to just ignore our own felt sense. Like, don't trust your feelings. Your feelings are not a barometer. You've got to think your way through a problem. Like, that's what we're taught to do, right? Sorry, I have to go, Claire. That's okay. Thanks for jumping on. So we've been taught this from a young age. We've been taught how to ignore our feelings, but go into your felt sense. Like, when you're feeling something, is actually going into your feeling body is your access point to your intuition. Okay. And when you're feeling in these negative emotions, when you're trying to push them away, when you're trying to get rid of that and just have that, okay. Now, by the way, to the degree that you're trying to get rid of your negative emotions, you can't experience positive emotions. You can't just experience that if you're not willing to do that. Okay. And life was really designed that we have both experiences. One of the ways that you can do it, Roberta, is you take that feeling that in the past you wanted to avoid, that you wanted to hide, and you lean into it. You just sit into it and you ask yourself to feel that feeling as big as you possibly can. Okay. Actually, what time is it? we always go over a little bit longer on these calls. I think I promised everyone half an hour, but who's got 5 minutes for me to do a quick meditation with you all? Okay, this will be good. You guys will love this. Okay, Roberta, I want you to pick that shitty feeling that you actually wish that wasn't there right now. And I want everyone to do that, just to choose a feeling that they don't like. I'm going to give you this as a really quick thing. You can always come back and just re-listen to the replay and re-listen to these words and press pause and just sit in that. Okay. I've had clients before that I've told them to just go away, and before I process things with them, to just sit in the, you know, in that darkness, so to speak, that dark shadow. I've had clients that have gone away and just given themselves permission to sit in it for a couple of days, and then all of a sudden it just pops. Okay, so I don't know what that's going to be for you. I'm not going to set you up for an unrealistic expectation, because it's more important that you get it. If I set you up for an unrealistic expectation, you'll go into, what's wrong with me? This stuff works for everyone else, but it doesn't work for me. That's not true. I just don't know. I don't know what problem you're trying to tackle here. Okay, so close your eyes, everyone. I'm going to keep my eyes open because I'm reading something off my screen. But everyone else, just close your eyes. Breathe. Just spend a moment breathing and really feel that air going through your nostrils, filling your lungs, and that beautiful oxygen permeating every single cell in your body. Feel into your body. Give yourself permission just to relax. Feel the tension dropping away in your shoulders. Just scan your body. Is there anything else in your body that's feeling tight, or maybe you just need to let go? And now I just want you to think of something that's a feeling that you've been trying to avoid all this time. Is there a feeling, something that, oh, it feels awful. I don't want to go there. I don't want to feel that way. But give yourself permission to lean into that feeling. And just notice whereabouts this is in your body right now. Whereabouts is it? Is it just glowing over your whole body? Do you feel it in your stomach, in your chest, in your throat? Whereabouts is it? It might be in a couple of places, and just really notice where that feeling is. That feeling that you've been avoiding for so long, just allow it to be. And now letting go of that feeling involves, first of all, being aware of that feeling. Letting it be there. Letting it actually come to the forefront, coming forward. Now just stay with it. Give it permission to be there. This is the first time in a long time that you've ever let it be there. Allow this feeling to just run its course. Just give it permission. I give you permission to just run your course. Without trying to do anything about it. You're not trying to make it different. It simply means to let the feeling be there. And now I'd like you to focus on letting out the energy that's been holding it in place. So just give that feeling permission to be, but just focus on letting out the energy that's been holding it in place. Just breathe into that and just give that permission for a moment. I give permission to let out the energy that's been holding this feeling in place. And allow yourself to have this feeling without resisting it, without venting it, without fearing it, without condemning it, without making it right or wrong. Drop all judgment and see that it is just a feeling. And as you're letting go, ignore all thoughts. Right now, there's possibly thoughts that are trying to attach themselves to that feeling. Just ignore all those thoughts. Focus on the actual felt sense, the feeling itself, not on the thoughts. The thoughts are endless and self-reinforcing, and they only breed more thoughts. Thoughts are merely rationalizations of the mind, trying to explain the presence of the feeling. The real reason for the feeling is the accumulated pressure behind the feeling that's forcing it to come up in the moment. So just give yourself permission to release that pressure, not the feeling, just the pressure that's been holding it in place. And just breathe. And just notice, has that feeling started to move? Now that you've released the pressure that was holding it into place, is it still there? Is it getting bigger? Is it moving? Is it moving up? Notice, is it dissolving? Try to feel it now as big as you possibly can. Really start to ramp that feeling up. How can I feel this as big as I can? I've let out the pressure, but I'm giving you permission to be here. In fact, thank you for being here. You've been part of my journey up until now. I am who I am because of this feeling. You are part of me. But I give you permission now. If it's your time to go, you can go, or you can stay. It's up to you. I'm not judging you. You're just a feeling. And when you notice that things are starting to shift for you, if it's starting to move, just raise your hand if it's starting to move for you. Yeah. As it's starting to move, you can open your eyes. You've let out the pressure now. If you've let out the pressure, if you just visualize that pressure going, after you get off this call, just get up and have a bit of a walk around, just move, and then come back and maybe do that process again. Maybe see if you can do that. How's everyone feeling? Just scan your body now. How are you all feeling now? Anyone want to share anything on that? No, you're all dazed and confused.
I'm feeling lighter.
Feeling lighter?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful. That's just another way of doing things. You know, there's many tools in our tool belts that can get us here. You know, sometimes we have such a big story about something. Sometimes it's just about clearing out the actual, you know, the energy that's being pent up inside our physiology. Just giving that a release. Then maybe come back to this. You know, do I need to do some mindset work? Sometimes you'll need to, there's two ways that we can process our challenges, right? There's two ways. We can do the top down, which is like mindset work, where I'll ask you questions and we're in our head, and then eventually we feel a physical experience in our body. Or we can do the opposite. We can actually use our physical body and move into the experience and then kind of come to an understanding in our head, like we feel a sense of calm, I feel of centered. Both are equally valuable. I must admit, when I very first started this work, I was very polarized, that this was using this model and working it out, nutting it out in your head was the only way. But both ways are just so beautiful. That way there is more of a feminine way of doing things. The thinking is more of a masculine, and they're both required. They're both valuable. Okay, so that was a nice little tangent, wasn't it? Thank you all so much for being here. If there is anyone that I haven't met that would like to work on a belief, you still have an opportunity. Okay, we're on Saturday in Perth right now. I know those that are on the other side of the earth right now are on Friday night, depending on where you are. If you're watching this on the replay, you have until the end of the weekend to get in contact with me if you would like to bust a belief, or, you know, even just have a personalized experience of what it's like to work with me. And also, I think, Roberta, did you just message me that you want, was that you? Okay, so Roberta's just...
When you disappeared.
Oh, when I disappeared. So Roberta's just messaged me that she wants in on the next program. So that means that we've now got 2 places left. So if anyone is interested, there's 2 spots left. So let me know if you'd like to join that. I'm going to be firm on that cap this time, because I really want to make sure that the people that show up, that I have 110% to give to you. So I'm not stretching myself too thin this time. It's often a temptation, but I'm very clear on my purpose. Okay. So I'd love to thank you all for being here. Like, I really, really, really do thank you so much. It means so much to me to be able to put out a program like this. Many of you are meeting me for the very first time, and you're entrusting me with 5 days of your life to allow me to take you on this journey. it's individual for each of you. I know that you will take exactly what you needed from this week, even if it's just one insight that helps you just change your trajectory just a slight little bit and get you closer to your soul's purpose, then that's amazing. So right now, if you have got any value from this week, all I would ask in fair exchange is that you write a testimonial into the group. Just share your insights or your experience or what this has meant to you. If you do share a testimonial, I will screenshot it and perhaps use it for marketing. So just keep that in mind. And if you want me to scrub out your face or your name, then just let me know. Or alternatively, share this with your friends. Like, I do this for free. So it's like, it's kind of a no-brainer for your friends. If they're at a pivotal point in their life where they want more, they want to live a life that's on purpose and not just feel like they're going through the motions, share this with them. I can put on these programs, but if no one shows up, it's not that inspiring for me. So please help me help others by sharing this with your friends. And if you could do that, I would, be in so much gratitude. I'd really appreciate that. So thank you all so much for being here. It's been amazing 5 days. Congratulations and welcome to the people that are joining the next course. I know Nadia, Roberta, Beck, you guys are all joining us. That'll be great. Cherie, I know that you're thinking about it. I'm not sure if the others, if anyone else is thinking about it. I know some of you that have been on before. I think Tash, you usually rock up again. Rhonda, you do as well, but I'm not sure if this works out with Rhonda's part. Rhonda and Tash are part of the furniture. They always keep coming back. They love it. Claire, I think you were thinking about coming back as well. So awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to working with you all in a much deeper capacity. And yeah, I'll just say thank you from here. If anyone has any questions or any insights, I'll open up the room now. So please share. Nadia, what have you got for us? Can you unmute yourself?
Yeah.
Hi.
So one thing I wanted to find, it's been coming up to me, is that I needed some sort of a releasing technique. So you just gave that to us, and I'm like, oh, thank goodness, because sometimes you kind of just get stuck, and then
hang on, I'm not sure.
You just get stuck, and then you can't figure out how to let something go. Oh,
beautiful. Okay,
so I think I'm freezing up. So
that's okay, but that's Nadia, that is so interesting that you say that, because I had no plans to actually do that process with you all. I had no plans. I had no plans of doing it. And then all of a sudden I went, I should share this technique with them. That might be really cool. So there we go. You put it out there. Some part of me received the call, and there we go. Isn't that amazing? I love that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Is there anyone else that's got any questions or anything that they'd like to share? Cherie? Did I say your name right? Am I still saying it wrong?
No, but that's all right. It's Sherry, but that's fine.
Sherry.
I've been called Sherry all my life.
I'll think of the drink, Sherry. Okay.
That's what I always say. Think of the drink. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So when will you have this again? Because you said every time you do it, it's different and you get more out of it.
Every time I do it, it's slightly different because different people ask different questions. I will probably do this one again in around 12 to 13 weeks time. Yeah. Okay. So what are we in now? So March, April. So yeah, around the middle of the year, I'll do this again. I usually run this program 2 or 3 times a year. Yeah.
Okay. And do you have others that you run?
No.
Just this one?
No. Yeah, I just have this one. I feel like this is a really big overview of everything. Although I do have someone building a new website for me at the moment. So if you have tried to find me online and you're like, what's going on? There's no website. I've got someone building a website for me. Actually, she's a Margaret River girl. Some of you girls might know her. And so she's building a website for me, and she's putting a bunch of links to some YouTube videos that I've done. But if you want to see like this program, if you do have friends, even though we're not running it live, they can always check it out on YouTube.
Okay.
There's various versions of this, some of the earlier versions. So I think that there's a few videos up, and I'll be adding to that. So check out the website. you can always just the link, the ManyChat link. If you register in that, or if you add them into the group that you are in here, they'll find a way. If it resonates with them, they'll find a way to access it. But I mean, get them to message me. That's, if there's something specific that they want to know, and I can just send them a link of a different video. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Awesome. Anyone else? Did anyone else have any questions or anything they'd like to share about this week? Okay. Awesome. So who's had a great week? Who's enjoyed this experience? Me too. I've loved this. Thanks so much for showing up. You've been an awesome group. You've kept me on my toes. You've asked really quality questions. Yeah, thanks very much, and enjoy the rest of your weekend, everyone. And I'll see lots of you quite soon. And for the rest of you, hopefully I see you on the next time we run this program. I'd love that as well. Okay. Take care, everyone. See ya.
Thanks, Anna.
Bye.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.